Yep, that's something I'm gonna have to change.
It's getting real big.
Alright, welcome back, friends. So in a previous video, we installed a light bar here up on the liftgate of my TJ. Now, it's a really nice system. I like it. I like that you can change the colors. I like the amount of light it gives out and that it's low power usage. And it gives us just the right amount of light to be able to cook back here, get gear out of here if we need to at night. But it has one problem, and it's my fault. The problem is, I installed the switch all the way in the front of the cab. And it sucks, because anytime you open up back here, you have to go back to the front of the Jeep, crawl inside, because it's the only way to reach the switch, hit the switch, come back out here, and then when you want to turn it off, go back out. It's annoying, it's tedious, and it was dumb to install in there. I know I did it because it was convenient, but convenient for installation doesn't always mean convenient in use. So that's what we're doing. We're going to change that up. We're going to make this a lot easier to use, actually, and get rid of the tediousness. What I find is the less tedious things you have on your rig, the more you're going to enjoy going out in it. So let's get to work. Let's go over the plan of attack real quick. So there's just really no good spot to put a switch in the back of a TJ or a Wrangler, period. You know, they're all single wall construction basically on the body and the top, so it's not like you have a bunch of plastic panels that you can modify. However, this piece is plastic. This is the cover for your windshield wiper motor, and I thought I'm just going to put a switch right here, and then I can tie the wires up nice and neat. And there's actually a grommet back up in here somewhere, yeah, right in here, that feeds a channel on the top that goes down to the side. And I think we can run the wires through there, and because we have the solar set up already over there, I can just kind of tap into that. The light bar on the liftgate is actually very, very low power draw, so I don't think we have to worry about overloading the 8-gauge wire that's there. So the first step is gonna be, let's run some wire. I'm running wire first only because I don't know that I'll be able to get it through here. I actually ran my fishing wire through only because at that corner of the cab where this channel is that you can go through, it's very, very tight, very, very tight corner. And so I want to make sure that I can actually get the wire through. So I'm just going to pull some of this out that I already ran. And then we're going to get some wires attached. And the end of my little fishing wire here, normally they have like a little hook where you can weave like line or something into it. My hook is gone. I had to clip it off. It actually broke in half from a different project I was doing. I really don't know how. It just bent and started breaking. And so in order to keep this thing from scratching and punching holes through everything, I just cut the end off and filed it down. And then, so we're just going to tape the ends of these wires here, give us enough length that if it does get caught on something, that doesn't tear it right off in there. We have to start the whole process over again. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this through and see what we've got. All right, I guess I should have mentioned first where we're going to. So this is part of the channel right here, and on the later model TJs with the hard tops that have the wiper motor in it, they actually have a plug right here for the connections. So when you take the top off, and behind this little plug actually has space around it to run some wires out. It wasn't done like that by purpose, honestly. They just didn't really do a good job of finishing the plug in there, but that actually works out well for us, so we can pull some wire through. All right, now that we have this through, I think we can start installing the switch. All right, so I think the best place to put it, probably right about there. Just kind of using the switch to line it up, make sure I don't go too far down or too close to the motor that's in here. I think right about there will be perfectly fine. See if that's big enough. Nope, not quite. A little bit more. There, something like that. Okay, let's get the wiring stuff. It is incredibly windy outside right now, which is why we're hunkered down inside the garage. I don't know about you guys, but the wind, not my friend typically. Can handle most other weather, but really don't like the wind. Okay, so I'm going to connect it with these little female spade guy things. These are actually way overkill what we're doing because they're marine grade, but it's not necessarily a bad thing all the time, you know? Okay, let's put this guy on here. You know what we forgot? We forgot to put our nut on here before we just did all that. Oh, that sucks. There we go. Okay, on to the next part. Now, I have two options here. One, I could wire it into the back of my my inverter here and tie it into the 8-gauge wire that's there. Or I could wire it into the load side of my solar controller. And I think I'm just going to do that. One, it kind of gives me a second safety, right? If something goes on with the switch up there, I could turn it off with this controller here. I just don't want to rely on these little switches all the time, turn on and off. This is more like a secondary safety. And two, it'll be far easier since the terminal lugs are already there. I can just screw it in. So that is what we are going to do. First off, this is going to be our power, so that is just going to screw into that terminal. These guys, though, are going to get wired together. We're going to use this thing. We'll heat this guy up and shrink it so it's done. It's not going to do much on this wire probably, but that's okay. All right, now it's time to plug it all up. So let's get this all connected, and then we'll clean all the wires up and everything. But for now, let's see if we have everything connected correctly. So that load is on. We'll just leave that on too since we got a dedicated switch up here. Let's see if it works. All right, let's take a look at this and see if this works. Yeah, that's gonna be really nice. You know, my light is actually yellow because I have the RGB version, and I just don't like white at night. I think it's too harsh on your eyes. But yeah, I think that's gonna be fantastic. Great little upgrade, great way to actually just kind of get rid of those weird little finicky things. So, there's only one thing left to do now. Let's take a look at it. Well, there you have it. The light bar is fully, well, it was already fully installed, but the switch is fully installed. It's way better back here than it is up there. I can already tell you that right now. I don't know why I put the switch up there in the front, except it was easier because I have that S-Pod system, but it was becoming a pain, you know? Anytime we needed a light back here at night, you'd have to go to the front of the Jeep, get in the Jeep, then reach up and hit the switch, then get out, do whatever you're doing back here, then go back up front, get back in, turn off, come back out. It just became really cumbersome to do that and annoying. And I don't know, things like that annoy me when you're taking 100 extra steps to do something when you can move things so they work better for you. So I think the switch is going to be much better here than up front. I really do. And that's a really good point, actually. When you're building an overland rig or off-road rig or whatever, you actually have to go out and test it a few times when you put something new on or something different or you change something to see if it's really going to work for you. You can have the best idea in the world, but if it doesn't work for you, then it's not really a great idea. The light bar, really good idea. Switch in the front, really bad idea. Switch back here, much better idea. Wouldn't have known that until we used it. Did, so now we know, and there you go. That's what's gonna happen. with that, I think it's time to end the video. Hit the comments below if you have any questions or concerns. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you like what's going on the channel, hit subscribe down below. And everyone, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh, I forgot to turn my light off. See how easy that was?